All right, fellas. You know what time it is. This ain't ESPN, this is the APFA podcast. We talking all pro football every single week. Game day stories and the inside leak. From the booth to the field, from the fans to the plays. We break it all down in our own kind of way. No scripts, no suits, no fake hot takes. Just real ones talking what the game creates. We laugh, debate, tell it straight, and keep that football energy great. Welcome to the APFA. Kick your feet up, it's game day. We got story stats and a couple wild laughs, and that, did you see that kind of flash? Yeah, it's the APFA, where football meets the hangout way. So grab your drink and press play. It's the All Pro Football Association Day. Yeah. From Sunday lives to the Monday memes, we talk the highs, the lows, the dreams. From rookie talk to legend pride, we bring the locker room vibe worldwide. We got coaches, fans, and a mic or two, telling it real like the players do. No filters here, we say it raw. That's how we love this game we saw. It's passion, people playing loud with the voice of the football crowd. From kickoff to overtime, that's the show. If you love the game, then you already know. Welcome to the APFA. Kick your feet up, it's game day. Good friends, good ball, that's our lane. It's the All Pro Football Association train. Yeah, we're talking all pro every play with the APFA. Let's talk football today. Yeah. It's the All Pro Football Association train. Yeah, we're talking all pro every play with the APFA. Let's talk football today. It's the All Pro Football Association train.
Good evening, APFA. I am here tonight with my lovely co-commissioner.
Lovely? We're going to go with that?
I'm used to introducing my lovely wife, but now it's just two bald guys with beards talking about fake football.
Yeah, it's not weird at all, is it?
I'm not weirded out. I think it's fantastic, and I'm glad you're here, Zach. I know
Great.
that you love being on the microphone.
No, not at all.
Well, I am glad you stepped up to the plate because my wife couldn't be here tonight. She has girls' night. There are about 5 or 6 lovely ladies upstairs, and I am down in my basement doing what I love, which is simulated football.
Nice.
What are you doing this evening?
My wife just got back from town. I am stuck in my man room with one of my dogs.
Cool. How many dogs you got again?
3.
Ooh, he's a dog lover, folks.
Yep. 3 dogs, 2 cats.
Big dog lover. Well, we don't really know where this episode's going to head tonight. We're going to try to kind of dive in a little bit deeper in sports talk since we don't usually get that with Allison. But I feel like we might be able to get through some things, maybe have a little bit different a conversation. But how do you feel this week has been going? It seems a little quiet to me.
Halloween hangover, maybe?
That's
it
a
is
good point.
full moon now. Maybe everybody's hiding from the full moon. And my camera just...
No, you're good. It was just kind of flashing in and out. You're okay.
Okay.
No, that's a good point. Could be some Halloween hangover, maybe some full moon weirdo things happening. But I want to see the hype come back. Okay, I hope the hype train hasn't left the league yet. But we just finished our 4th week. Zach, I wanted to ask you, being a commissioner and being somebody who's been on this train from the ground up, how do you feel like the league is doing after this 4th week that we just finished?
I think it's doing great. A lot of ups and downs as far as team records and wins losses goes. We've had a couple disgruntled players.
Some drama kings.
Yeah, drama kings. But for the most part, I think it's been good.
Yeah. I don't think anything has really been, say, out of pocket, as the cool kids say. I mean, there's been a few things that we're like rolling our eyes at, but honestly, that's kind of the stuff that makes this fun.
Yep, exactly.
So I'm having a good time too. I think the league is quite healthy. I think as far as the workload goes, it's been very manageable. I hope you enjoyed your weekend semi off from streaming. So hope you enjoyed that. I tried to take over as best as I could. I know I don't do it as good as Zach does, but there's a lot that goes on with that, man.
Yeah,
there is. So we appreciate what you do for the league.
And I've actually added one, maybe two more things for this weekend.
Ooh, you want to give us any hints, or are we just going to have to be there to find out?
Be there to find out.
Ooh, I can't wait
Tune
to see
in
that.
to find out. Yep.
That's exciting. I like that a lot. Well, like you mentioned a little bit earlier, there have been some ups and downs as far as the games go, which is always good in a league like this. Something to keep things a little bit unpredictable. There were some crazy games, some crazy finishes, and some surprising results. So let's jump right into talking about some of these games over in the next scene.
Okay.
So let me see if I can pull up this graphic. I wish I would have gotten with Scylla and got her little quad photo with all the end results, but this will have to do for now. We're just going to talk about these one at a time here. First game we're going to talk about is the DC Tribe at Pottsville Maroons. DC went into this game being the favorite at 3.5. Ended up winning 37-31, and that score does not really do the Tribe justice for, frankly, how dominant they were in this game.
No, absolutely not. Tribe showed up to play football. Pottsville didn't even get off the bus. They didn't even get to the stadium, I don't think.
There was one player that really showed up, and we'll talk about him in a minute for Pottsville. Yep. But a high-scoring game, Tribe covering the spread. Player of the game was Tribe's halfback, Cecil Aldemeyer. How do you pronounce that? Do you know, Zach?
No.
Okay, I know we've got Jazz at quarterback and Cecil at or Cecile. I'm gonna say Cecile.
Yeah,
at running back. But 165 yards with 2 touchdowns. Anytime you can get a running back over 100 yards is a good day. 165 is a big number.
Oh yeah, especially in a league where it's not always good to run, but teams can still find a way to run and come out on top. Yep,
for sure. So Tribe finished the game with 168 rushing, 364 yards passing with only 1 turnover. Maroons only had 60 rushing, coming from a team that really hangs their hat on the run game. Showing some difficulty the last few weeks getting that going. But Dar showing up through the air with 392 passing yards, most of those to one individual with no turnovers. But
they still lost.
They did still lose, but hell of a showing, especially shout out to who just jumped in the chat, B. Steezy, also known as Steinberg, tight end. Number 1 for Pottsville, had a monster game, Zach. 14 catches for 217 yards.
He didn't get a touchdown, though, so it doesn't matter.
It was a monster game for him. I mean,
for a tight end, but that's what Pottsville does. They throw the tight end. They want that offensive tackle to be their tight end 4.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But what I love is we really highlighted the Drama King segment last week, and most people might kind of shy away from doing that. We don't want to cause drama per se, but what I like about this is a man who stirred up a little bit of heat over the last couple weeks showing up. Even though they lost, he showed up, and that's what it's about. Hell of a game, over 200 receiving yards. Shout out to Steinberg. But quarterbacks playing pretty even. Dar and Jazz pretty much neck and neck as far as the stats go. Defensive standout for this game was Chris Britton with 7 tackles.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. That was a good first game to watch last weekend. Next game we're going to talk about is the upset of the week, London at Georgia. London was favored by 12.5 points. Georgia looking to get their first win this week, and boy, did they show up at home. Ended up beating London by 15 points, 35-20.
I didn't see that one coming. I honestly voted for the Knights to win. Bit me in the ass on that one. But, it looks like London is somewhat vulnerable if they're losing to Georgia.
Well, you know, we're only talking week 4. There's still a lot of teams figuring it out.
Yeah.
And I think Georgia's starting to figure it out. We're still waiting on another team or two to start figuring it out, but Georgia showing some real promise, looking like they might start becoming a little bit more competitive in their conference.
Yeah, which is good.
Player of the game, Georgia's quarterback, John Borio. 18 for 24, or 18 out of 24, 225 passing, 3 touchdowns. Also had 32 yards rushing with a rushing touchdown, and that's something I like about the Demons. They sport a scrambling quarterback, and they really try to lean into that, which is hard to do in this league.
Oh yeah, it's not what this game is about. In years past, I've never seen a scrambling quarterback do anything.
Yeah,
or, I mean, if they have, it's been minimal.
Well, Georgia's starting to figure that out, and that would be a really cool element to see play out if they can get that one going. But good showing. London finishing the game with 96 rushing, 370 passing, and 2 turnovers. Georgia clocking in at 175 rushing. Big game on the ground, 225 passing, but 0 turnovers. Georgia playing an almost perfect game against London.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's pretty good for Georgia. No turnovers. I think that's their first game this year without a turnover.
Well, that's a good point. I don't know about that one. Somebody check us on that. But one thing to speak to their perfection last week was Georgia quarterback Borio having a QBR of 143. That's impressive.
That is very good. The perfect's 154, something like that. So,
outstanding players on offense go to London wide receivers Madison and Morton. Madison had 12 catches for 135. Morton had 3 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown. And let's see, my defensive standouts for this game go to London's defensive player Hardaway with 10 tackles, leading the game with 10 tackles. But Georgia having 2 people on defense, having Gleason and Carson. Gleason with 8 tackles and a pass deflection, Carson with 9 tackles. So those are the standout defensive players.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to highlight about that game before we move on?
Nope, not really.
Okay. Let's talk about Munich playing the Outlaws. Outlaws were hoping to get their first win this season with their first game at home, but Munich playing the entire game from behind until the very end and coming through with a game-winning field goal. Really dramatic finish, really exciting game, but Munich takes it in the end 30-27.
Good for Munich. Good for you to get another win under your belt.
I like to win. I was sweating on that one, though, man. Not going to lie.
It wasn't pretty to start, but it ended in our favor. So
yeah,
I'll take it.
Yep. Player of the game, quarterback Junior Floyd, 40 for 47 and topped 400 yards. 410 passing yards with 3 touchdowns. Munich only having 17 yards on the ground, but again having over 400 through the air with 1 turnover. Outlaws only able to get 6 rushing yards. That's what killed him. That's what killed him was their run game. Only getting 6 yards on the ground, but 346 passing, and did dish out 2 interceptions this game. Standout player for me this game was Eddie Gage with 6 tackles and a very clutch fourth quarter interception to turn the tides and the momentum. Shout out to Eddie Gage for that. High tackle record this week goes to King Jr. for the Outlaws, had 13 tackles. And let's see, we also need to shout out Apps wide receivers and tight end Clausen and Witherson the fourth and Rob Hunt all had touchdowns this week. So
that's good for them.
Yeah,
well, maybe they can get some momentum and right the ship and get rolling here.
Yep, for sure. I think through the air they're looking real solid. Again, just getting that ground game going is going to be important for them getting their first win. One really interesting and exciting stat for Munich. Their wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, and wide receiver 3 all clocked in over 100 receiving yards apiece. So both Pierce receivers and Washington.
That's pretty darn good for the Munich Metalheads there.
Mm-hmm. That shows a lot of diversity, shows a lot of spreading the love for Floyd. So a real good showing offensively for Munich.
Yep.
So.
And to throw a little tidbit in there, I did adjust the Munich depth chart prior to sending you the roster file. I switched the Pierces.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Why did you do that?
Just throw a changeup in there and it paid off.
I like that. Okay. So you switched Nolan and Randy from wide receiver 1 and 2. You just reversed that. And
I just, swapped the sides.
Well, keep it as is, please. Don't change that. Last game of week 4 was Neptunes at Pungo. Neptunes giving the Picaroons a run for their money. Yeah.
I thought there for a minute that Pungo was going to receive the first loss, but sadly it didn't happen. Yeah. I mean, Neptunes really rallied at the end. At one point, they were down by about 20. And then real close to the end of the game, only a couple minutes left, they were down by, I think it was 10. And I remember messaging in the Gen Chat bragging about my spread that I had picked at 9.5. And then all of a sudden they scored and they were within 3. But Neptune's again showing that they've got what it takes against unarguably the best team in the league, Pungo. Yeah.
So, player of the game, again, quarterback Jackson Roberts, 44 for 57. They threw the ball 57 times, Zach. 458 yards. It's wild. 458 yards, 4 touchdowns, QBR of 123. Neptunes getting 57 yards rushing, 438 passing with a turnover. Pungo, minus 3 yards rushing. Must have been from some sacks. Yeah, must have been a couple sacks in there. So, but also having a turnover. Standout players of the game here: Pungo wide receiver Lovechild, 13 catches for 206 yards with a touchdown. That's a big game for a wide receiver. Almost as good as B. Steezy's game at tight end, but not quite. and Neptune's wide receiver Fowler, 8 catches for 169 giggity yards and 2 touchdowns. Big game for him.
Yeah, good game for him. He was one of the players that was traded a couple weeks ago to the Neptunes, and he showed up good for the Neptunes finally. It's paid off for them.
Yep. Yep. I like seeing the players that are requesting these trades that are showing that they're unhappy, proving themselves to be worthwhile for the teams they're traded to. So
Yeah, exactly.
that was a good look. That was a good look for him. But those were our games last week. Again, we head into week 5. Before we start talking about next week, let's continue a little bit of our segment where we introduce players in the league. We've been doing ownership spotlights, but since you're here, we are going to do Commish Spotlight, where tonight we talk about you, buddy.
Thank you.
It's all about you. And let me just talk about you. I'll ask you some questions here along the way. But Zach decided to go on this adventure with Chad and I a few months ago. And we decided that, we just really missed this game. And that is really the why for him coming in. He loves APF just like all of us do, and he wanted to keep it alive. And his love for that game, he really fell into a slot with me and Chad where we all kind of we all have the same vision, I think, but we all have different strong suits, and we've all kind of settled into those strong suits. It's been really good for the league. So your official title is Commissioner of Game Day Operations, correct?
Correct.
Now, would you care to share what exactly that means to the people who might be watching this episode?
I am in charge of all the streaming and making sure all the playbooks are, follow the rules and whatnot. Mm-hmm. No errors. I input all the playbooks. I distribute the roster file if I am not able to stream. And, I just, on the broadcasting, when we get broadcasters, it's that'll be my job also.
Yep.
It's just more or less dealing with the games and the streaming stuff.
Yep, and keeping it on schedule, which is often hard to do, especially in a free league, but doing a wonderful job so far. I can't thank you enough for what you're doing. I asked you what your commish style was, and I've been asking the owners what their play style is, letting owners just kind of come up with their own name for their own type of play style. And but for you, I want to know what your commish style is. And you sent me a longer answer, but what I boiled it down to is you want to be reliable. You want to be known for your reliability as far as the schedule goes with streaming. Is that correct?
That is correct. I did in another league, did a lot of streaming, and at the start of that, there was a stability there for the schedule, but then it kind of fell off when I was left as the only one to do the league stuff.
Yep.
And I just, I had enough and let it go. And so with this league, I don't want that to happen. I want to just keep a schedule and stick with it.
Yep. And I think it works really well when that is the one thing you get to focus on. That's your baby. You don't have to worry about nothing else. Yep. And but you're doing a great job with that. So, reliable. Zach is proving himself to be ultra reliable so far in this season. Zach, I asked you your favorite team, and I was surprised by this answer. I want you to tell the viewers why Pungo is your favorite team. You bandwagoner.
Prior to Pungo coming into this league, I didn't even know there was that word or the Picaroons. I didn't even know what the hell they were. So they're a unique team. I was going to say Hampton Roads, but then I was like, no, we're going to do Pungo. They're more unique, I think, than Hampton Roads.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that's fair. I asked you your strengths and your weaknesses. You mentioned that your strength was your knowledge of OBS, which has proved to be true with all those really neat overlays that you have and the running banner at the bottom. the stream. But your weakness, which is surprising that you're on here tonight, is you hate the microphone. You hate the microphone.
I do.
What is it about that?
I've never liked
I've never liked talking in crowds or anything, or even doing what you do every week.
Well, you just got to pretend that everybody's in their underwear. No, I'm kidding. The trick is I just sit here in my underwear every week. Awkward. Now it's real awkward. Go ahead.
Okay.
Take your pants off, Zach.
I'm good.
No, I'm kidding. You've had some camera malfunctions. We definitely want to keep your pants on. So, well. Anyways, proud of you for overcoming your fears and getting on here tonight and helping us keep things consistent with content. The last question I asked you was to give me one hot take about the league. And you mentioned that you were very proud of the growth so far of the league and you feel like we can continue to grow. You mentioned that there is room for expansion and continued growth and development. And I want you to speak about that for a moment before I elaborate.
Yeah, the league is where we're at now. Luckily, thanks to all the people that are here who have helped get us this far. But there's always going to be room for, more activity, more people, possibility of more teams if we go that route. And, we can always make things better.
Yep. And I wanted to take a moment to give a little preview to people who may be tuning into this week's show. We're not going to make any official announcements, but maybe this will be a little tidbit for folks. I want to talk about what expansion looks like for the league and what I'm looking for specifically as far as membership goes or things that we need to see before we look at adding 2 more teams. For me, that number is 120 users. Okay. I'm looking for about 120 active players before we start looking to add 2 teams. With that being said, though, for those who are listening to this episode, I'm going to tell you that we will have 1 guaranteed spot for ownership this offseason. Okay. We've been talking with all the owners, catching up with everyone, and there will be confirmed 1 spot open. This is the only time I'm going to mention it until closer to the off season. So, if you feel like you are ready to step into ownership, you get your application ready, you start getting yourself active, and you'll be ahead of the game when those applications start to roll out.
Yeah. Get your ducks lined up. And the big thing for ownership in this league that we ask, you have the game.
Yep.
So you can do the playbook.
Yep. You got to have the game. And you've got to have good management skills. You got to be able to be on preferably daily to check in with your locker room, make sure that there's no messages that need to be addressed. But so there will be 1 spot open. So just a heads up to folks. All right. That was our buddy Zach. That was our spotlight on Zach. All right. So you and I got together a little bit before the show here, and we agreed on Week 5 power rankings. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw these up here real fast for everyone. And what we've been seeing the last couple weeks is a little bit of fluctuation towards the in the inside of these power rankings, usually between like 4 and 6 is where we're seeing the fluctuations. But this week's been interesting. There's been a lot of turnaround towards the outskirts, around 4 to 8 and around 2 and 3. So what you're seeing here are big jumps up from Munich and the Demons, both getting wins. Appalachian drops down to the bottom with no wins yet. Pottsville, this was a toughie. Now, this was a toughie. This is a hard one. This was a hard week to decide on power rankings because Pottsville beat the Metalheads, right? Pottsville beat the Metalheads. Metalheads beat the Demons. and the Demons beat the Knights. So it's a really strange place to be, and the Metalheads also beat the Outlaws. So it's just a strange place to be right now, but this is where we're settling for week 5. Of course, Pungo stays on top at 1. Hampton is not dropping. They're actually going up after London's loss. Okay, so Hampton going up to number 2, London dropping down to 3, only dropping down to 3 because they beat the Tribe. Okay,
Yep.
So London's beat the Tribe. Even though DC got the win against the Maroons, we ranked the Maroons lower, so they're not getting as much credit for that this week. But these are our power rankings going into week 5. You have any comment on that, Zach?
Not really. Maybe I would have, after looking at it more, maybe switched Munich and Georgia. But I mean, that's a hard.
But here's the thing: Munich beat Georgia like 44 to 14.
Yeah.
I had a hard time justifying moving the Demons up 3 over top of a team that beat them by almost 30 points.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense now. Yeah.
That was a hard thing to do, but this is kind of where I settled with that. We're going to do something a little different here. We're going to do a segment called Zach Reacts. And I have 4 hot takes, and I'm just going to throw them out there, and you're just going to tell me if we're just going to see what you have to say about it. Okay? My first statement: Pungo goes undefeated.
No, absolutely not.
Really?
No. There's going to be one game where they're just going to fall flat on their face. I don't know who it's going to be against. But I just have a gut feeling that they're not going to go undefeated.
Okay.
It's hard to go winless or without a loss in these sim football leagues.
Man, I did not think you were going to go that way. So they're your favorite team. I did not think you were going to go that way. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Charles, but you will end up with a loss at some point this year.
Ooh, all right. All right, next one. Neptunes stay hot. Finish second in the division. So I don't know if you know the conferences. Neptune's conference is obviously Neptunes, Pungo, DC, and Pottsville. Neptunes finished second in their division.
Nope. They're going to finish third, I think. I think Pottsville will figure it out and make a run.
Okay. Okay. So what about DC? I mean, DC's proving to be high octane on offense. I like DC. DC has a lot of promise.
They're a wild card for me.
I like DC.
I like DC too. It's hard to say with them. Like I said, they're a wild card for me. They're
Okay.
They're getting iffy.
All right. So far, Zach's reactions are negative Nancy. How about this? Lopsided conferences. I'd say the Pungo, Neptunes, Tribe, Maroons conference, highly competitive compared to Knights, Metalheads, Demons, Outlaws.
Very
lopsided conference.
Yep. Yeah.
You agree?
Hands down, yeah.
Okay. So we're definitely looking at a much stronger conference for those. And I can't remember which one it is. I don't know if it's United. It's not United. It's
Both names are.
It's the other one. So
yeah.
But anyways. All right. Last one. Outlaws, who are now 0-4, finish 5-5.
Nope.
Ooh.
3-7.
Oh. All right. Does it change your mind knowing that the Outlaws will have 4 of their first 5 games away, and then the opposite of that on the back half of this schedule? So they will have 4 of their 5 last games at home.
No.
Okay. Okay.
No, I think they have too much to figure out. I mean, I think they're on the right path, but I just don't think it's going to happen to get their 5 wins.
Okay.
We'll be lucky to see them get 4, I think.
Wow. Yeah. In my opinion, Outlaws gave up the game to the Metalheads. That should have been a win for the Outlaws. And I think they win all their home games.
See, everybody thinks home field advantage in this game is the thing, but it's not.
I disagree. But I like your reaction. I respect it. But I think you're wrong.
I know. I'm always wrong. Ask my wife.
Yeah, she'll say I'm wrong too. All right. So this week, actually just yesterday, I sent out something called a mid-season ownership pulse. And what this is meant to do is to be an opportunity for us to connect with each owner and give them an opportunity to share their experience so far, halfway through the season, things that they feel like are going well, things that they feel like could use some more work. And we are going to take that criticism and try to correct it and improve upon our league. We have a private channel just for us that we are keeping long lists of everything that we need to revisit during the off season. So I want everybody in the chat here, everybody who's watching this video, to know that we are taking it seriously to continue to improve. We're listening to the owners. We're listening to you guys as well. And I want to share a few things. So we've received 4 out of 8 of our ownership pulses back. And I have been writing things down, and I want to share some things that we are planning to address during the off season. Okay. First one that we need to address is the idea of consecutive away games. And this, I'm not going to share anybody in particular, but we're going to institute a rule where there will be no team will have more than 2 away games in a row moving forward in the season. Because it is hard to go on a streak of away games. It is, especially at the beginning of the season. It's hard for morale. You need a home game. Teams need a home game, so we are taking that into consideration. No more than 2 away games in a row moving forward in the schedule. The next thing that was brought up was the ability to kind of detail your offensive line. Right now, all of the offensive line is set up as a specific height and weight based on NFL averages. And we're going to work with that. I don't know exactly what we're going to do, but the point has been made that for particular offensive schemes, it is important to be able to have a little bit of ability to change some height and weight one way or the other. So we're going to try to find a way to make that fair, where if you want to bulk up one particular player, that might take away from another offensive lineman. So maybe we work on a scale of averages for the offensive line. But anyways, we are taking that into consideration, finding ways for teams to make their offensive linemen different. Okay. Animation accessibility. It's been brought up that there are some particular animations that certain positions would like to have and are not currently available in our progression system. We are going to look at this again and see what we might be able to make available. We want players to be different for sure. That's a priority. We want players to play different. We don't want every team to have the exact same set of wide receivers, the exact same running back. We want players to differ. That's what makes this fun. That's what makes this unique.
You to make your player the way you want it to be built.
Yep. So we are taking that seriously with some concerns brought up about particular animations. So So that's another thing. And I believe there is one more. It has also been brought up that progression is slow, and I know it's slow. We are trying really hard to balance time to progress and also not overwhelming, not having players maxed out too early. We don't want to have a team where players are all maxed out. So what we are going to be considering is a way to get some rewards for progression based on your activity, which I think will be a way to boost our server activity. Like this week, it's been low. Our activity's been low. It's felt a little dead. Okay. And we're going to have ebbs and flows like that. But if there's something that we can work in where players may be rewarded for their activity and involvement in the league, so be it. Maybe that'll be a good thing overall. So those are some things that we have been looking at so far. Still have a few more owners to chime in. But Zach, I think this is probably your first time hearing this. What do you think?
I think it's good that we're going to review this stuff in the off season. You know, it's hopefully this stuff will make the league better and more active. That's what we're looking for here. So,
Yep. And we have this on our to-do list, but we have so much more listed on our off-season discussion. I mean, we have pages
I think we
of
have
things.
a dozen things at least.
Yeah, we have several things that
I
we
was looking at it right now, and
it's
it's probably 10, 12 things listed there.
Yeah, we have a lot of things that we want to try to work on. We don't want to reinvent the wheel each season. That's not our goal, but these are just little things that we feel like would make a bigger difference in our league. We knew there would be some things, at least in the first season or two, that are going to change, and these changes will happen during the off season. So, good deal. All right. Zach, let's talk about next week's games. Week 5, we will officially be halfway through after this week. We've got some early games to look forward to on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday we're doing the early games because I have a bowling tournament Saturday night. I'm sorry, I like to bowl.
Here's the thing, Zach. You're not doing it for bowling. You're doing it because there's a game in London, and those games are played at 9 o'clock. And that's cool. That's cool. I can't wait. I can't wait to wake up and have a cup of coffee and watch my metalheads play ball Saturday morning. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's a page from the NFL. When they did their London games, or they do their London games, it's 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So
Right. But you will be streaming a game Friday, and I believe that game is the one listed on the top here. The Outlaws
versus Demons.
Versus Demons. I want you to look at that spread. We have the Outlaws as the underdogs. We're giving them 2.5 points added onto their score to beat the Demons. Who do you have in this game when you look at that spread?
I have the Demons.
Okay. You think Demons are going to beat them by 3 or more?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Demons showed enough last week that they know what they're doing. I think they'll just continue to roll. So.
Yep. Demons were heating up, especially at home, but it was Halloween. And they're demons. It was probably some weird demonic thing. I'm calling it a fluke. I'm giving it to the Outlaws this time. My vote's going to the Outlaws. Actually, I wanted to do something here. I wanted to do, let's see, Colin's face. There's my face. Uh-oh. How do I?
What'd you do?
I moved it behind. There we go. Okay. Give me the Outlaws. And now I've got Zach's face. I think.
Maybe.
All right, you're taking Georgia. You're taking Georgia. All right. Okay, fair enough. All right. Now let's look at Saturday morning's first game. Munich given 7.5 points against London. What do you think here?
No, I'm taking Munich.
We're Munich fans.
Yeah.
We're Munich fans, but let's talk realistically here, Metalheads have been proving to have slow starts to games.
Yeah.
Okay. Munich struggling defensively to stop the passing game. We will see if London can come out and take advantage of that. So London's going to have to win by more than a touchdown to cover this spread. So I feel like, I'm going to have to go for Munich because that's where I am right now. But if I wasn't, I would probably take London.
I 100% have to agree with you there on that one. If I wasn't on Munich, I would go London hands down.
It's more of a homer vote than probably what it should be.
Yeah.
All right. The next game.
I'm surprised the 9 people have voted for Munich
Right.
in that game, though.
Yep.
I mean, that's such a surprise right there.
Right. Munich hasn't been getting the majority vote lately. So maybe things are starting to change. But all right. Neptune's at the Tribe. We are expecting this one to be close. Only 1.5 points difference here going in the Tribe's favor. So Tribe is the favorite by 1.5 points. Who you got on that game?
I also have the Tribe.
Okay. You taking the Tribe.
Yeah.
I am so torn this game because I really like the Neptunes. Neptunes are probably my favorite team. I don't have any APF gear yet, but when I get one, I'm probably going to get a Neptune shirt. I'm a big Neptunes fan.
Yeah. Well, like I said in my Commish chat, or my Commish spotlight, it was going to be Hampton Road, but then I went Pungo.
Uh-huh. I like what they stand for. I like the players they have on their team. And I'd like that they've been competitive against all preseason odds.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with my gut. I'm taking the Neptunes. Give me the Neptunes. Stay on that win train. All right.
There you go.
Now, our game of the week, last game. Is this being played on Sunday?
Yes.
Sunday night game. We've got the Maroons playing Pungo. Again, another heavy spread in favor of the Picaroons. We're giving Pottsville 12.5 points. Pottsville going to keep it within 12.5?
No. I think it's still too far away to figuring stuff out.
Yeah. I think I have to agree with you. I just think Dave's in a busy state of life right now. I think he's been doing the right moves as far as listening to his players and making the changes. I just think it's so hard to compete against Pungo if you're not giving it 100%. I'm not saying that Dave's loafing at all, but I just think Pungo is dialed in, and I think Dave has real life football to deal with right now. And I think that's going to be a big disadvantage this season. I think we see a different Maroons next season. But this season, I think they struggle. So I'm taking the Picaroons at home, probably winning by 20.
Yeah.
So
Pungo, you got to stop their air attack.
Yeah, for sure. Because they do not have a run.
Possible, do they even have a user on defense?
I think they do. I think they have one, maybe.
Yeah. But it's hard with a base defense, basically.
I'll tell you here in just a second. They do. They have two. Remember, they have the number 1 pick in the APFA, Kane Vasquez and Drew Reilly. So they have 2 defensive backs, just like Munich does, but showing similar issues on defense as Munich. But okay, so we're similar on some of these picks, separated on a couple as well. But all right, anything about the slate of games for Week 5 before we move on?
Nope, it's like you said, we're halfway there.
We're halfway there. Really excited about what's been going on. I appreciate you jumping on here with me, Zach. It's been a lot of fun. It's been good to talk a little bit deeper into football than I do with my wife. I love her to death.
Wait, what's football?
Fake football. We didn't do any words of wisdom from Allison. She does bring a different vibe. And you know what? Maybe this will be something good for the league. Maybe once a month we have someone different on here. You know, maybe once a month you hop on here. Maybe once a month Charles or Chad hop on here. But Allie will still be the regular, but it was good to just have a bros night while she's having her girls night.
There you go.
But, all right, man. Well, I don't have anything else for you this evening. Those in the chat who decided to hop in here, whether you hopped in early or late or whatever, thank you. Please stay active with us on this show. We want to keep this show going, and as long as we have activity and people watching, we will continue to do it. So I don't have anything else, man. Any final words?
I don't have anything.
All right. Well,
Happy Wednesday.
Yep. Happy Wednesday. I will see you next week, me and Allison. But Zach, good luck with your games. Appreciate you. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah.
Friends and mics talking game day legends and those Friday nights. From the rookies to the vets, every yard, every line. You know we keep it real every single time. Yeah, turn the volume up, feel the vibe in your zone. We're laughing, debating, but it feels like home. From kickoff to overtime, that's the way it's the All-Pro fam, and we here to stay. It's the